Honoree George Nestor. George Peter Nestor was born in Greece. After his parents' death, he immigrated to the United States to live with his aunt and uncle, Mary and Charles Nestor of Atlantic City. He graduated from Atlantic City Trade School in 1937. Europe was in a turmoil as Hitler invaded Poland, Belgium and France, and Mussolini was invading Greece. George enlisted in the United States Army on 4 November 1940. He was married on July 4th, 1942 to the love of his life, Sophie, at the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church in Atlantic City. 3 weeks later, he was on his way to Europe, and Sophie went to work as a volunteer for the Red Cross. He was deployed overseas on the HMS Queen Mary and assigned to the 1st Infantry Division, the Big Red One. By November 1942, Nestor, who was an infantry mortarman, was in North Africa under the command of General Dwight D. Eisenhower and, of course, General George Patton. On Nestor's first day in battle, 3 April 1943, during an intense firefight, he exhausted his supply of mortar shells. Rather than retreating, he chose to expose himself to enemy sniper fire, risking his life for the success of the mission. He was able to recover an abandoned 60mm mortar and ammunition, return to his former position, and continue to fire. Snipers had them in the crosshairs. Nestor pressed forward, charging the enemy position and eliminating the sniper nest. For his gallantry, George Nestor was awarded the Silver Star Medal and was promoted to sergeant. After defeating Rommel and the Flanders, the Big Red One then was sent to Sicily, where they fought their way up the Butte. He then landed on D-Day at Normandy, fought through France and into Belgium. During the Battle of the Bulge, Nestor was promoted to second lieutenant. The Big Red One and men like George Nestor, they fought in the deserts, the mountains, and the cities. They fought in extreme heat and cold with great courage and success. And they were now in Germany moving towards Berlin. Lieutenant George Nestor on March 19th and 20th was then involved in a 2-day battle near Rheinhausen, Germany, where he was seriously wounded by enemy shrapnel. Ignoring the wounds, he fearlessly advanced toward the enemy position, exposing himself to enemy fire, killing all members of an enemy patrol. He pressed on and set up a border post in the exposed but strategic position. He then commenced to fire mortar rounds on key enemy positions and then on a large mass of well-equipped enemy troops, neutralizing them before they could attack. For his gallantry and heroic action in Rheinhausen, Lieutenant Nestor was awarded the Distinguished Service Cross. This is our nation's second highest medal for combat. He was also awarded the Purple Heart. After the battle, he was medically evacuated back to the United States, and coincidentally, on a ship that he was familiar with, the HMS Queen Mary. He was treated at multiple hospitals and eventually transferred to the Haddon Hall Hotel right here in Atlantic City, temporarily called the England General Hospital. His wife, Sophie, was a volunteer at the hospital as a Red Cross Gray lady, and so they were once again united. Upon his discharge from the England General Hospital, he returned to a welcoming Greek community at the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church. He was honorably discharged from the United States Army in 1945, but he continued in the reserve, ending a 28-year career as a major. Initially, George was an Atlantic City firefighter and subsequently employed as a firefighter at the Naval Aviation Facility Center in Pomona. George Nestor passed away at the age of 90 on November 22nd, 2006. George Peter Nestor, a warrior, a hero, and a member of the greatest generation. God bless George Nestor, all veterans, and God bless America. And 3 generations of the Nestor family are here with us today. His daughter, Dr. Nikki Nestor, granddaughter, Lindsay Nestor Hoover, husband, Jason, and daughter, Madeline, and son, Ethan, and grandson, Pete Nestor, wife, Ada, and sons, George and Peter. And so to the members of the Nestor family, we thank you for George's life and service. And folks, the Nestor family would like you to know, if you want to learn more about the heroic actions of George Nestor, read the book, The Last Kilometer by Preston Price. The author gives a very stunning tribute to the remarkable bravery and skills of this Atlantic City citizen. Thank you.
I want to see that book.
Francis Joseph